The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot. The discovery of HeLa cells. This section recounts the discovery of Henrietta Lacks' immortal cell line, known as HeLa cells, by Dr. George Gay in 1951 at Johns Hopkins Hospital. It discusses the circumstances surrounding Henrietta's cancer diagnosis, her treatment, and the surprising characteristics of her cells that led to their immortalization. Henrietta's life and diagnosis. Here, the book delves into Henrietta Lacks' background, her life in the segregated South, her family, and her diagnosis of cervical cancer. It explores the medical treatment she received and the circumstances that led to her cells being taken without her knowledge or consent. The development of HeLa cell research. This section chronicles the rapid growth of HeLa cell research following their discovery. It discusses the various experiments and breakthroughs made possible by HeLa cells, as well as their widespread use in scientific research. Henrietta's legacy. This part examines the impact of Henrietta Lacks' cells on medical science and the ethical questions raised by their unauthorized use. It explores the exploitation of Henrietta and her family, as well as efforts to recognize her contribution to science. Rebecca Skloot's investigation. Here, the book shifts focus to Rebecca Skloot's personal journey to uncover Henrietta Lacks' story. It discusses Skloot's research process, her interactions with Henrietta's family, and the challenges she faced in piecing together Henrietta's life. Henrietta's family. This section delves into the lives of Henrietta's family members, particularly her children and grandchildren. It explores the impact of Henrietta's legacy on her family, their struggles with poverty and medical issues, and their feelings about her cells. Ethical and legal issues. This part examines the ethical and legal questions raised by the use of Henrietta Lacks' cells. It discusses issues of consent, privacy, and ownership of biological materials, as well as efforts to reform research practices and protect patients' rights. Medical advances and HeLa cells. Here, the book discusses the numerous medical advances made possible by research using HeLa cells. It explores their role in developing vaccines, understanding cancer and other diseases, and testing drugs and treatments. Henrietta's recognition. This section highlights efforts to honor Henrietta Lacks and recognize her contribution to science. It discusses initiatives to raise awareness about her story, memorialize her legacy, and support her family. The continuing impact of HeLa cells. This final section reflects on the ongoing significance of HeLa cells in medical research and the enduring legacy of Henrietta Lacks. It discusses the ethical challenges that remain unresolved and the lessons to be learned from Henrietta's story. Rebecca Skloot reflects on the enduring legacy of Henrietta and her immortal cells, HeLa. She emphasizes the importance of recognizing Henrietta's contribution to science and the need for ethical reform in medical research. Skloot highlights the impact of Henrietta's story on her family and society, urging readers to consider the ethical implications of scientific advancement and the rights of individuals whose biological materials are used in research. Ultimately, the conclusion serves as a call to action to honor Henrietta's memory and ensure that her story is not forgotten.